Skinning spring breakers alive. March 3rd, 2020, a group of friends and I traveled to Dallas, Texas to enjoy Spring Fest, where dozens of our favorite artists were set to perform. I was excited, and so were my friends. Normally, I'm big on signs, meaning if it starts to rain on a day I made plans to go to the beach, I just don't go. Well, immediately the signs began, from us missing our flight to us getting on another flight to our hotel room being given away to other people because we missed our flight. I was getting a weird feeling from earlier that I probably should have just canceled my plans to go to Spring Fest when we ended up missing our first flight, but I didn't. Instead, I listened to my stupid friends and I tagged along with them, and now we're in Dallas on the night of the most epic Spring Fest without a place to stay. We searched high and low, going from hotel to hotel, hoping to at least book one room for us all to stay at for the weekend, but no luck. We continued searching, catching taxi after taxi all over town until we pulled up to Spring Breakers Motel. It was a cheesy themed motel that was sort of run down, but we didn't care as long as we could book a room or two for us to lay our heads over the next 3 nights. I remember entering into the rundown motel's office with my friends, and needless to say, but it was a bit creepy. It's already late at night, and the motel's office is almost as dark as outside, but whatever. No one stood at the front desk, which was odd, but I rang the desk bell, and out of nowhere, some old buck-toothed man appeared before the desk, smiling. "Hello, ladies and gentlemen," he said in a creepy way. "How many rooms can I get you all?" His voice was weird, and he looked even more bizarre than he talked. "I think we should go someplace else," I suggested, but my friends weren't at all interested in finding another place to stay. "Bro, it's late, and we need to get to Springfest ASAP," says Roger, my good friend. Everyone agreed, including the weird motel manager. Trying to find a motel or hotel on Springfest weekend won't be easy, but you all are in luck, he says. Several rooms have just become available. I wasn't thrilled, but what choice do I have? So I agreed to just crash here for the night, and that's exactly what we did. We got 3 rooms, and I headed off to my room near the end of the motel as my friends went up to theirs. We all agreed to meet back up outside in about 20 minutes. I entered into my hotel room with Tracy behind me. She entered after I did so that I could inspect the place a bit, and once I did, she walked right in. In no time, the motel room lights shut off, and the doors sealed shut immediately as Tracy and I ran to the door to open it. No luck whatsoever in us doing so. We banged on the door as we both yelled for help until we began hearing the sound of people screaming. I froze in a state of panic as the television, sitting just a few feet away from the door, turned on. On the screen was a video of our friends being tied down to their motel room beds by men in masks. I couldn't believe my eyes, and neither could Tracy, who watched in horror as the men pulled out large knives from their pockets. I'm shocked, and I'm in a total state of disbelief as I could hear the sound of my friends screaming, but not from the television. They're screaming through the very walls of this motel. Seconds later, the men began skinning my friends from the neck down as they belched out screams, making us panic even more. I'm frozen. I'm stunned by what I'm witnessing at this point. The men butchered my friends until their screams became silent. Tracy cried out in horror as the men from the television sets looked to their left where the sound was coming from. I took a look at my room key, and instead of us going to the room 6, we ended up in room 7, meaning we went to the wrong room, which is the reason why we're still alive. I watched on the television as the men rushed out of the motel rooms they were in, and I knew that they were coming for us. I rushed to the back of the motel room to look for an exit, but there were solid bricks covering the back exit door. By the time I rushed back to the front door, those same men stood in the doorway holding butcher knives. Tracy yelled, and so did I, until our screams vanished as the men butchered us both.